Hey guys, how's it going? It's Joy. I am back again with another video. I hope that you guys are doing well and I hope that you guys are staying safe. So this channel is called Live Narc Free, where it is all about getting free and staying free after dealing with narcissistic abuse. So you guys, I have a different topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. You all can let me know what you think in the comments. There was a person that commented on one of my videos that I did. I want to say it was about maybe 2 or 3 months or so, where it was talking about how narcissistic parents like to keep their adult children codependent on them for life. And that is something that does happen unless that adult child decides to break free, to reclaim their independence, to reclaim their own identity, and to reclaim their sense of self. That can absolutely happen to where the narcissist keeps full control over their children and adult children, and even, like their son-in-law or their daughter-in-law. That's like the whole plan. But the person, they was just kind of, giving their feedback or whatever. I'm not going to mention their name because I don't know if they want me to say their name. So anyway, but I was actually thinking of this myself and how, the question is the younger generation lazy and don't want to grow up? And is this the narcissistic parents' fault or the narc in-laws' fault, right? Now, this is not for everybody because not everybody in the younger generation is like this, because, you do have some very hardworking people that are motivated, inspired, ambitious, go-getters, and, just good overall, like, productive people, so this is not for everybody, you guys. But, people that do have narcissistic, toxic, dysfunctional families, you know um is it possible that that parent could encourage them to be lazy, meaning, like, with narcissistic parents, they don't want their child to have their own finances, like that narc parent could want their child to work for them, which to a certain degree is kind of, that would be a good thing, but eventually, maybe that adult child wants to have their own gig or maybe start up their own business or job opportunity, stuff like that, right? And sometimes the narcissistic parent could have, like, a tension tantrum, or they may go against it, or they oppose it, or whatever the case is. But in terms of, like, the narc excuse me, yeah, the narc, the adult child of the narc would want that child to stay living with them forever, right? Like that narc parent doesn't want them to, like, move out on their own, to have their own place, to have their own family, to have their own personal life that's independent of the narcissist. Not saying that you can't share stuff with your parent, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like, okay, I have my privacy, you have your privacy, but when it comes to dysfunctional families, that's where you have the enmeshment. Um, Nobody has their own personal life. Everybody is kind of like in everybody's business, and it's like drama and stuff like that. And it's unhealthy, and it's not right. Everybody deserves to have boundaries. So anyway, so I'm just saying all this to say is that, it could, and you guys could let me know what you think. Do you guys feel that narcissistic parents encourage, the younger generation to be lazy and to not want to grow up? And the reason why I'm saying this is because I do feel like that was the case for me and my aunt, living with her from age 17 to 21. I could tell you guys, she didn't want me to move out. She was paying for some of my expenses at the time. And I remember, you guys, when I was like, telling her, like, I had interest of moving out, like, I wanted to be my own unique self, which everybody deserves. And she's like, oh, well, if you move out, you're gonna have to pay your own rent now, right? You're gonna have to pay your own phone bill, right? And I'm sitting here thinking, like, yeah, that's what adults do, you know? And so, like, with that narc parent, they like to make it so that they're in control of everything, meaning so that they're in control of your life and they control your decisions. And, everything is all based off of what the narc wants and not you, the individual person. Um, but yeah, like, she really didn't want me to move out because that meant she didn't have any control over me anymore. She didn't have a say over my life. She couldn't control me using finances and stuff like that, you know. So and then some of them, they may say like, oh, you know, you don't have to work, like, you know, you could just maybe some of them, if they have like their own business, they may say, oh, you could work for me, or oh, you know, you could just clean up around the house and stuff, and I'll take care of you, don't worry about it, and stuff like that, you know. So it's just, or it's like they will discourage you from maybe wanting to have like your own gig or your own opportunity, because they feel like, you know, you're not going to be underneath them anymore, or you're not going to be giving them attention like that. You know, some narc parents would do that. Like if you have an idea, like, oh, you have like a specific hobby or activity, and maybe they could feel threatened by it, they may like discourage you or say, oh no, don't do that, you know, let's just focus on this and stuff like that. So you just kind of want to keep that in mind. um, but when it comes to like the younger generation, the age range, what I would think, and you guys could let me know, I would say between the ages of um, maybe 18 to like 35 or so. And maybe even for some, it could go from, you know, maybe like 14, 15 to like ages like 40 or so. That's like, you know, maybe is that the younger generation age range, would you guys say? Because I feel like, you know, maybe I am a part of that younger generation, but I don't think that I'm lazy, or you know, I don't think that I don't want to grow up. I definitely want to grow up for sure. You know, if you're watching, you probably thinking like, yeah, I want to grow up too, you know. But it's unfortunate that you could have some parents or in-laws that don't want you guys to grow up, you all, and they don't want you to be productive. They would prefer you to stay underneath them your whole life and to take care of them for the rest of your life. And I'm not saying, again, guys, this is not a video to bash your parents. I love my parents. I hope you love your parents. You know, they did the best that they could. At the end of the day, it is what it is. But unfortunately, it just wasn't good enough. So we have to be the ones to reparent ourselves. And that's actually what I do talk about in the course that I did make. So again, if you guys want to learn more about that, definitely send me an email in regards to reparenting yourself course. But yeah, a lot of the narcissistic parents, they can do a lot of damage, you guys. And I can tell you guys a story where my aunt's oldest son, I remember seeing the change in him. Like when I had first moved to California to stay with my aunt, he had his own place. I think he lived maybe a couple minutes away from my aunt or whatever. And he was doing good. He was doing his thing. And then I guess, you know, he was kind of going through some difficult time. And then he ended up moving back in with my aunt. And I don't know, I just noticed the change. It like he became more like depressed, and he ended up going to jail a couple times, and he just, his attitude changed. It's like he wanted to move out, but it was like my aunt was telling him like, oh no, you can stay, you know, don't worry about it, I'll take care of everything, and you know, stuff like that. So narcissistic parents, they don't encourage independence, they don't encourage self-reliance, they don't encourage self um, improvement, or you know, to have your own identity. The narcissist wants you to be just like them, you know, and if you do go against that, then that is a no-no in a narc's eyes. And you know, you've given them a narc injury, and so you know, again, they're either going to abandon you, smear you, shun you, reject you until you comply. And if you still don't comply, what they're going to do is turn other family members against you. So anyway, I don't want to make this video too long, but I hope that this maybe could help us reflect. And you know, if you, and I do get some circumstances, like if you're living with your parents, I get it, you know, but at the end of the day, you do just want to make sure that, you know, you're doing something to, you know, help you to eventually move out, whether it's picking up another gig or starting a side hustle or having an idea of a business, because, you know, that way you don't have to be under the rule of another person, or you're not going to be controlled and manipulated by another individual. Because the sad thing is that, unfortunately, I don't know what it is, I don't know, and I'm going to make another video about this, but a lot of the our parents, not all you guys, But some of our parents, they're just very controlling and they want to live through us. And if we don't, they will withdraw support. They will um, resent you and low key kind of like hate you, and it's sad. It's sad because it's not really personal. It's just that a lot of them, they have a lot of unresolved grief and a lot of unresolved pain and issues that they've never dealt with. But now at this point, it's like you're the target, and it's not right. And so, what you want to do is just, again, set up boundaries, become self reliant, become independent, reclaim your identity, reclaim your sense of self. That's going to be the key to helping you. And also, dealing with the codependencies, because you're probably codependent if you come from a toxic, negative, dysfunctional, narcissistic background, but like I said, if you are, having to live with your parents, just make sure that you're doing everything you can do to have your own identity. Of course, respect your parents, respect the house, but at the end of the day, make plans to move. And sometimes you may not even say anything to them, because sometimes they might try to sabotage you. Yeah, they may try to sabotage your plan to move. So sometimes you might just have to keep things to yourself, unfortunately. So anyway, I hope that this video was helpful and insightful. I would love to know what was you guys' biggest takeaway, your feedback, and any other topics that you guys want me to do a video on. I would really love to know. And I'm trying to see if there's any other stories that I wanted to share with you guys in regards to my aunt. I think I'm going to do another video on it, because I just realized that there was some things that I have never told you guys about in regards to my aunt. But anyway, that's for another video. I love you guys so much, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.